Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton's Communications and Marketing Department. And today we're going to talk about some of the live music options in Hampton. There are quite a few, and my guests today have been on Hampton's live music scene for quite a while and are pretty darn well known. So you probably know them before I even introduce them. But it's Sueanne, Doyer, and Vaughn Deel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And let's start by saying the most recent award you won, which was from Veer magazine for hosting open mic night.
Right, the Veer magazine awards yearly. We just happened to be able to win the award. I got enough votes for our open mic at Victorian Station in Phoebus.
It's so funny because when people drive past that lovely pink antique building, they probably don't think of live music and bluegrass and barbecue and the things that go on there in the evening.
Probably not, but now they do. We've started our fourth year. This month began our fourth year as the host of the open mic night on Thursday nights, and starting in April we'll start our fourth year of our singer-songwriters night. It's the first Thursday of every month.
Oh, okay. So open mic night then is when? At Victorian Station?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
7 to 10 o'clock.
Okay. And 7, so you start early for
we
people
start
like
early
me who can't stay up late.
Well, and the owners like to get in bed early too.
Right.
Oh, good.
So we start at 7. Anyone's allowed to come in and play. The first Thursday of every month is dedicated strictly to original music. The rest of the time you can play whatever music you like.
That's a little bit different. It encourages people to...
we like original music.
Well, our particular area, including the South Side and Newport News, have a lot of really good songwriters. And since we started doing our songwriter night, there's been quite a few other songwriter nights popping up, which gives great venues for people to ply their trade.
Mm-hmm. Now you do another open mic night at Goody's.
At Goody's Deli and Pub on Queensway in downtown Hampton. We've been doing that one for many years.
You're not even going to count them up,
it's
right?
It's actually the longest running open mic night in the Seven Cities area. Wow. They started in '96, so this will be their 18th year.
That's great. And that is on Wednesday nights?
That's on Wednesday nights, 9 to midnight.
9 to midnight, okay. Is there a difference in atmosphere or attendance between the two open mic nights?
It's hard to say. Sometimes you'll see the same people.
Mm-hmm.
The atmosphere at both clubs is entirely different. Goody's, of course, is a very long, narrow bar with a sandwich shop. Mm-hmm. The crowd there a lot of times will tend toward younger folks, but on any given night, it's impossible to say who's going to show up.
It is, okay.
And when you go to Victorian Station, it has a very homey atmosphere. It's almost like you're playing in someone's living room. Mm-hmm. And of course, that even helps improve the sound with all the wood and everything.
It does have
It's visually aesthetic as well as audio.
Great.
Audio.
Okay, and I do want to let people know, I met you all having been dragged over from one of the Hampton History Museum concerts. I think it was probably Jackie Scott, Mark Hopkins, a bunch of people headed straight on over to Goody's. And I was a little, thought, this is like cool people in an in crowd. And it was the most welcoming place I had ever been. I mean, people kept coming up and introducing themselves, and it was just so friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I didn't expect
That's
that.
downtown Hampton for you.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
So, before you were hosting open mic nights, and even now still, you guys played. Have you always played together?
We started playing together, she and I started probably about 19 years ago. We've known each other since we were teenagers.
Really? Did you go to the same high school?
No.
Okay. But teenagers who play music, you just sort of connected?
Well, I didn't know she played music when we first started.
I didn't either.
Okay.
And it started, I heard her sing one night at an open mic night, and I said, well, you want to be in my band? And she said yes, and I said, well, that makes 2 of us. So we started, our band came about. We wanted a guitar player. We had a job playing for Bay Days, and we wanted a guitar player, and we were trying to think who we could get, and we both thought at the same time Ray Bruce. And he was my first guitar god from when I was 12 years old. I saw him play at a sock hop at Thomas Eaton Junior High School, and he became my hero as far as guitar players. Well, he joined the band for that one show and decided he liked it and stayed for 16 years.
And that's when you guys were Susie Ray
That's
Vaughn,
when we were
and
Susie
probably one of the best-known local bands in the area.
Well,
We like to think so, but
I think so. I can say it. You guys are probably too modest.
well, we really had a good run. We
Yes.
enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Now, let me start with you, Vaughn. When did you start playing guitar? What made you become a musician? When did you know this was your gift or your calling?
My father,
Or your hobby.
my father had a guitar that he played, and I still play that guitar. I played it Monday night. He played it when I was a little kid, and I loved the sound. And at 12, I started playing guitar, and that was the beginning of my long downward spiral. And so now at almost 61, I'm still playing.
You are. It's amazing. And you gave me your business card the first night we met, and it says, "A guy with a guitar." That's your identity.
Well, that's it, pretty much.
And you talk about Ray being sort of your guitar god. What I noticed, you'll probably be too shy to admit this, but when I went to the open mic nights, is that you are sort of the guitar god now for quite a few people who come up there, who look for your advice, who you kind of help.
Well, I make it look easy. It's smoke and mirrors. It comes from experience, doing this for so many years, being in front of people. The first time I play in any place, I still get a little jittery.
Do you?
The first time in a new place. If I can make it through the first song, it's going to be a good night.
Good. All right, Sueanne, do you want to be Sueanne or Susie? What do you go by when you're not on stage?
when I'm not on stage, Sueanne.
Okay. So you growing up, when did you said when you first met him, you didn't really know that you were a musician or wanted to be in
I
a band.
played guitar as a teenager, and I wrote a few songs back then, which I can't sing now because they were like 16-year-old songs.
Oh, I bet.
But then I had kids, so I stopped playing.
It changes life then, doesn't it?
Right, it really does. It really does. And when we got together, I started singing with him, and I said, "Well, what if I had a bass? You know, what if I played bass?" And they thought that was a good idea. So I've been playing bass for 18 years, something like
Something
that.
like that.
Yeah, and I play acoustic 6-string as well, but bass in the band. So, and I just love music, whether I play or not. I love listening and playing and singing.
Well, in the singing, I noticed on open mic night, a lot of people who were playing, at least on the night I was there, and it probably varies a lot, were guitar players. And they would frequently look at you to hop up and sing with them.
Oh yeah, doesn't take much, just a look, and I'm there if I know the song. I love harmony, and I love singing. So, any chance I get, I'm there.
Yeah. And a lot of the people at open mic nights some of them are musicians. But I saw a lawyer there one night. I mean, I see a really wide variety of people.
You'll see doctors, you'll see lawyers, you'll see ne'er-do-wells, you'll see part-time pirates. We are in Hampton.
That's right.
You'll see a little bit of everything there, and never be surprised.
We had a belly dancer one time at one of our open mics at Goody's.
How fun!
was
There's
really
like a
fun.
belly dance studio downtown somewhere, I
Is there?
think, or someone who teaches lessons.
Right,
I think.
I'm not sure exactly
Somewhere
where it is yet.
nearby.
But yeah, the belly dancer showed up and belly danced.
Yeah.
So people can do any kind of musical.
We invite anyone. If it doesn't have to be musical. If you're a comedian and you want to tell jokes, that's fine. If you're a poet,
Poetry.
it just ends up most of the time it's musicians. Sometimes when a poet or a comedian shows up, a lot of times the crowd's not interested in listening to that. Especially if they're in a club environment, they want to hear music. And a lot of times they want to hear the music that they just got out of their car. They were listening to in their car. They want to hear the same stuff they normally listen
They
to.
want to hear covers of
They want to hear
popular
familiar
songs.
music. Some people get uncomfortable around original music.
Really?
Yeah.
I always like to be surprised.
That's the way to
One of
be.
the things about an open mic is you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
You don't know what, It
Right.
could be very country, it could be very acoustic, it could be very rock and roll, it could be blues. I mean, you kind of never know what's coming.
Never know.
You guys roll with that pretty well, right?
Yeah, it just comes with the experience.
And you all, do you still play together at all? I mean, officially as an act, as opposed to
Not
warming
really.
up the,
Occasionally, we will play a benefit. Someone is having a benefit, and they'll ask us to play. And of course, we'll jump at that opportunity. Which
We'll ask Ray first if he wants to play with us. We've done that several
Is
times.
he still around?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
still
okay.
around.
I knew you did a reunion concert sometime recently.
That was,
I
in
missed it,
December.
but yeah.
And then we did another concert 2 weeks later when he retired from his job, and that was fun too. So.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that I haven't asked you all about your career? I know I want to save some time to hear the music, because that is you guys more than the talking.
I think you've covered it.
Okay. All right, good. Well, we'll close with the interview then and bring you back hooked up with mics and with your guitars.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And stay tuned. There's more.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Hi, this is a song I wrote for a friend of mine. It's very good advice. It's called No Need to Wonder. Have a little patience, take a little chance, think about a sweet kiss, think about romance. It ain't supposed to scare you, it's supposed to make you warm inside. Ain't no need to wonder if it's gonna be the same this time. Let it happen naturally. Love ain't just a state of mind. It's a good thing when it's the right thing. It's necessary as the air we breathe. Don't ever put your love up on a shelf. Till you find someone to love, you gotta love yourself. Love life, love peace, love harmony, and love will find you someday. Don't even think about it. It'll happen when you least expect it. Don't you ever doubt it. You'll feel the glow and then reflect it. I know it seems it takes so long, but good love's always worth the wait. Somebody broke your heartstrings and you cried. Till you get it back into love must abide. Love life, love peace, love harmony, and love will find you someday. When you find love, embrace it. Chances are you can't replace it. Work around your differences. Compromise is what it takes. They say nobody's perfect. Perfect love is what you make it. So if you want your true love to relate, you gotta give a little every time you take. Love life, love peace, love harmony, and love will find you someday. Love life, love peace, love harmony, and love will find you someday. Thank you.